Welcome back, everybody. This is Where to Next. Gonna do a video today, a second part to the video about the power grid, about what's really going on with the power here in Belize. But first, I really want to say thank you to everybody out there. We got over 500 subscribers this week, which was awesome. So we're looking forward to our next goal, which is 1,000 subscribers, and we couldn't do it without you guys out there. We love bringing you videos. We love bringing you the truth. Before I get into the video about the power grid and infrastructure and building and all the crazy things that are going on in Belize right now, I wanted to show you a little bit of one of the things that I love about Belize. This is right around the corner from our property, and one of the things I love doing this time of year is coming out and just picking mangoes. Yes, I love coming out here, picking fresh mangoes. Look at all that sap. I leave them out for about a week. They'll be ready to eat. They'll be ripened up. So yeah, this is one of the things that I love to do. You know, this time of year, like I said, is just come out here. Normally I'll just walk around the woods and stuff and find old trees like this, and what used to be, you know, shacks and stuff here at one time are no longer here. So somebody, you know, obviously planted this mango tree a long time ago, but nobody's here anymore. So yeah, endless supply of mangoes. You can see there's mangoes everywhere on this tree. There's so many mangoes actually that they're just all the way down to the ground. So I always try to come get as many mangoes as I can. As you can see, look at all the mangoes on here. And it's actually two trees. There's another mango tree over here. So yeah, guys, you know, like I said, I just wanted to show you one of the things I love to do in Belize is get out, just walk around. You find mango trees like this, you know, where people used to live but no longer live anymore. So yeah, it's beautiful. I love doing it. Once again, thank you for getting us up to 500 subscribers. Like I said, without you guys, it just doesn't mean anything. So, you know, we're always trying to bring the truth, not just all smiles and giggles and, you know, hey, we're in Belize, it's great. Try to bring a lot of truth to you guys, especially the ones that are looking to actually come here. So hope you enjoy the video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And thanks for watching, everyone. All right, guys, so in this video, we're gonna go over the reasons why I see the power crisis in Belize is extremely bad right now and doesn't look to get any better. The first reason is gonna be the amount of building that's going on. Belize is in the middle of a boom and they are building like there's no tomorrow. I mean, they are just nonstop building. Wildfires this year. Wildfires is another big reason, man. The wildfires have been out of control. They're burning a lot of infrastructure right now, and you know, the investors just can't keep up, don't want to keep up. I don't blame them if they didn't want to keep up with it. You know, also with the lack of rain for the hydro, producing hydropower, this has been one of the dry seasons on record here in Belize, which is adding to the fires and is also taking away from the hydro dams. And the biggest one, in my opinion, is relying on Mexico for power. For some reason, Belize continues to think that at the end of the day, that's their best fix, is that Mexico is going to continue to generate more power and Belize is going to be okay. I think otherwise, but let's go ahead and get into it. Hope you guys enjoy this video. All right, everybody, welcome. So getting into exactly what's going on here in Belize with the energy crisis, the power, the getting power from Mexico, the in-house generation of power, you know, kind of getting into all that. I did a video a couple weeks back. I'm going to post a link here, you know, about exactly what's going on with the power here in Belize. And since that time, it has not gotten any better. Actually, it's gotten worse. Now, as far as the dry season with the hydro dams, that's kind of understandable that they can't produce as much power as they normally would because there's not as much water. So they just can't produce a lot of electricity. That being said, taking the hydro dams out of the equation, what's going on now is, you know, it's pretty much the infrastructure thing. I just heard something today, and I'm going to put little clips up, you know, throughout this video so you can kind of see for yourself of, you know, actual clips of what's going on here, you know, from individuals, from Bell. But it pretty much comes down to an infrastructure thing today. I heard today from the government of Belize, they were over the radio, you know, they were pretty much admitting now that they've gotten too big too fast, and that's pretty much what has happened here in Belize. So it doesn't look like the power situation is going to get any better anytime soon. In fact, it's probably going to get worse. So the gist of it today is there's another plant here, or I wouldn't call it a plant, I would call it a generator that's going to be offline for about another 2 weeks here, that they have to do maintenance or fix this. And the gist of it is that Mexico was working on 125 gigawatts upgrade on their system. So the gist of what the government of Belize is saying is that they're in hopes that this is going to hurry up because they're still going to depend on power from Mexico. To be honest with you, it's like they're going backwards. You know, at some point in time, Belize has to understand that they need to become energy independent. Mexico has its own building going on right now. I mean, Mexico is booming with the Maya train, Tulum, the brand new airport down there. Most of the power, I would think, that they're getting ready to regenerate, the 125 gigawatts, isn't really going to be based for Belize. And for them to have a thinking of this, it just, I don't know. Like I said, it's me. Maybe it's just elementary. But, so like I said, the power isn't affecting us because we are 100% solar. We are off grid. But when the power does go down, we lose internet. That's all we lose. So since I made the last video, what's been happening, the rolling blackouts have gotten worse. They have not gotten better. They've actually gotten worse. And this is since they fixed the other diesel generator. Mexico has cut back so much power because they're using it for themselves. So kind of what I'm seeing here with my own eyes, this has been a real bad year for fire in Belize too. This dry season has been historic. It's been unprecedented. It's sad. There's been farms burned all over Belize. And that has to do a lot with the power grid. And the reason why is a lot of poles have been burnt this year that have to be replaced. Now, what I've seen here with my own two eyes, if I was an investor, if I was somebody like Fortis, you know, Bell, the government of Belize, if I was investing in infrastructure, which Belize needs, it needs added infrastructure to keep up with not only the building, the demand of the people that are coming here that are consuming power. They need to update the current infrastructure that is already here. And I know might be going a little bit fast, but you know, just try to do the best we can, and I'm probably going to jump around, but it is what it is. So back to the fires, an investor. So if you were an investor, Fortis, Bell, whoever that's investing in the power grid here in Belize, you have to ask yourself this question. If a pole burns because somebody started a fire, and about 95% of the fires that they've tracked down so far in Belize that happened this year, they didn't happen by a lightning strike. There hasn't been lightning. There hasn't even been any rain. So they were started by agriculture, people that just don't care, that are burning their crops and stuff, their lands. And it's a big thing here. They do it every year. Well, a lot of these fires got out of control this year and burned a lot of poles. So if you're an investor and you have to replace these poles, there is nothing here, and I have not seen anything here where anybody has been held accountable as far as insurance or anything wise, that if they start a fire and they destroy things, that they're going to have to be responsible to take care of the things that they've destroyed. Like in the States, if you hit a light pole and you have insurance, your insurance has to pay for that. Here, there is none of that. So why would the people that are already invested here in Belize, that probably got duped into investing to begin with, because they were probably like, hey, we'll just put up a bunch of lines, a bunch of poles, or get our power from Mexico. So we're going to buy our power from Mexico. at a certain rate, and then we're going to hike it up and sell it to everybody else at a certain rate and make a bunch of money. But what you weren't counting on was the infrastructure going down and having to replace the equipment, and you definitely weren't counting on the amount of people that have moved to Belize. So the people that have invested, what is the incentive for them to invest in new infrastructure? Think about that for a minute. There is no incentive for any investor that has anything to do with the power company or the power grid to come here and invest in this country. It doesn't make any sense if at the end of the day you get no help to replace your investment if something goes wrong. So basically, if you spend money on a pole, correct, you're making money every month from, people consuming power, but you have to keep in mind, not everywhere in Belize consumes power like the tourist area. A lot of people that are in remote areas or outside the tourist areas, they try to use as less power as possible because it's expensive. So if you have 15 poles that burn up on just one stretch in a fire, that you have to come out and you have to replace not only the poles, the lines, you already had to pay for that once. Now you're having to pay for it twice. Chances are, if it's another bad year next year, you're gonna have to do it again. So in my opinion, from what I've seen, I wouldn't invest for on-the-grid power here in Belize at all. That's just my opinion. I would not do it. There is nobody to hold accountable if something goes wrong. They don't have any way to hold people accountable. Not only that, they really don't have the resources. Thank you to the linemen that are actually out there busting their butts every time something goes down. You guys, I know, are taking a lot of the brunt and a lot of fall from a lot of people out there for what's going on. But it's not your fault. It's your company's fault. So to all the linemen that are out there busting your humps, even the ones back in the States, you guys are the ones that make it happen. So yes, their incentive for power in Belize for an investor. What is there? Belize is growing exponentially right now. So just in Belmopan, you have all these 3- and 4-story buildings going up right now where every single room is going to take an AC. Belize has not been used to that. They've been used to shops that are 1-story that run ceiling fans, don't even have air conditioning. So the power consumption has been minimal. Well, it's 2024 now. A lot of people are coming to Belize and a lot of things are changing. And a lot of people like their air conditioning. A lot of people just don't want to be in 100, 105 degree temperature with a ceiling fan blowing hot air. So basically, in my opinion, the government of Belize did not look down the road. They did not take any of this into account. And it is growing so fast. And all they're doing is hooking to the grid. This building goes up, all these AC, all these lights, hooking it to the grid. This one, hooking it to the grid, hooking it to the grid, hooking it to the grid. And then the power goes out and they're sitting there, scratching their heads like, well, we don't know. We get our power from Mexico, and they're kind of shedding back. And the power problem here in Belize is not a Mexico problem to begin with. It's a Belizean problem. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to turn this into a bitch session. I'm just trying to bring the truth to you out there who may be thinking of coming here, investing here, building here, what have you. It doesn't matter. If you are going to be any way, shape, form on the grid for any time that I see looking in the future, take this into consideration. You are going to lose power. And I'm not the only one talking about it. There's a lot of people on YouTube. There's a lot of YouTube groups that are people that are based here in Belize. Every single group is talking about the power problem right now, from Punta Gorda all the way up to Corozal and everywhere in between. There is a huge power problem. It is not going to get any better. So if you're coming here, even on vacation, the VRBOs, the Airbnbs, the resorts that don't have generators, every single day right now, these things are coming off. They're just shedding. They're moving power from here and putting it over here. And then they'll turn it off here and put it over here. So if you were somebody that was spending money to come here on vacation, just make sure that your place has a generator. If not, you are literally going to be left in the dark. I'm not joking. If you come to Belize on vacation right now and your resort or the place you're staying does not have a generator or solar with a battery bank backup, you are going to be left in the dark. So Belize is a beautiful, wonderful place. And if you're coming on vacation and you're not worried about power, even better. Just, you know, unplug, unhook, get away from it all, let your cell phone go out, get in the water. Like I said, it's why, you know, we chose solar here so we wouldn't have to deal with headaches like that, because we kind of did our research. But like I said, it's not getting any better. So if you're hearing anything different, take it from here on the ground. The power situation in Belize is not getting any better. It's probably not going to get any better for a few years. And like I said, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. There's no incentive for the power companies to upgrade the infrastructure if they can't protect the infrastructure, if they can't hold somebody responsible for the infrastructure. What's the incentive? You got to think about it. So they're going to continue to build right now, and that's what they're doing. They're building, they're building, they're building, they're building, they're building. And 90% of those new builds are going right on the grid. That means this grid is being inundated with so many more households, businesses, whatever, you name it, that are drawing power from the grid. And Belize only produces so much with its hydro and its gas diesel turbines. The rest is coming from Mexico, and you know, they got their own problems and their own things to deal with. So yeah, I just want to come on here real quick. Sorry I kind of, you know, was kind of jumping around and everything, but just want to give you guys a heads up of what's going on. Please subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the bell, share it with your friends. I got a lot more stuff coming out in the next month and a half. So really appreciate you guys watching. Really appreciate all the comments. I try to get to every comment that comes through. But yeah, thank you for watching, and have a good one, everybody. Stay blessed.